Greetings, brothers and sisters. Hello and welcome back to Eva's House of Spirit. I'm Eva, and today I'd like to talk to you about something that I just don't hear discussed in the pagan or magical or witchy sort of community that we have. I never really hear anyone discuss the topic of what to do when, in the course of working, it is indicated to you that you should perhaps proceed no further. It seems that, maybe it's a rare thing, but it seems to me that this is something worth talking about. It's something that has happened to me. I do not think that I am the only person that this has ever happened to. So yeah, let's talk about this. Being Portuguese, I kind of at one time I wanted to find out more about Lusitanian mythology. I wanted to know about just like the real traditional mythology of my people. And let me just backtrack. Why do I feel as a Portuguese person that I have necessarily Lusitanian roots? I have forever wondered why. Both sides of my family, of course, have always lived in Portugal until like the maybe late 70s. They came to America. Always my family lived in Portugal. But my mother's side of the family, they always had like light eyes, paler skin especially. My mother especially in particular, her features were just so, how could I even put it? She has like green eyes, very, very, very pale skin with like a pinkish undertone, and she was born with hair so light it was practically white. It got darker with age, of course. And, my grandmother, her mother had gray eyes, my grandfather, hazel eyes, her sister, hazel eyes. Like everybody, so many people on my mother's side, just real light eyes, real, 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 real light skin, you know, um, they just had features that you would almost expect from places like, I guess you could say, where maybe Celtic peoples, had dwelt at some point in history. And I always wondered for so long, why does my mother's side of the family have these characteristics, these traits? Now, I'm no geneticist, and it's not like I have a lab in my garage and I'm like, oh, DNA. I don't know. But it's just something that I really do feel that, um, I really feel that it's quite possible that my mother's family, going back far enough, that there is some Lusitanian blood there. So I wanted to find out more about this mythology, but a great deal of it has been lost to time. There's just so much that we don't know about the Lusitanians as a people. We know like little fragments, little bits and pieces. If you try to research the Lusitanians, you will find very, very little. I have tried and tried and tried. It is no easy task. I am still trying. Well, anyway, um, at one point I started doing meditations and I started to construct a staff, to use in some ritual work. And it had like not a real skull, but like a fake, a depiction of a skull at the very top. And there was like wire wrapped around, the staff, and it was just very intricate and ornate. And I was doing all this work, doing all this stuff. And then I went to sleep one night. I think I had the staff actually, it was like a small staff, like a wand. I call it a staff because it was like maybe a little bigger than a wand, but you know, it wasn't quite your traditional wand. Anyway, I had put it under my pillow. I had fallen asleep one night, and I had this dream that really unsettled me. I was walking down a street in my old hometown, and there was a figure, and he was all like bound up, tied up, and he was just, I can't even explain, like it was like he was trying to get out of his bounds, out of his bindings, and he was just like staggering about, and something about it just made me feel really, really not good. So when I woke up, I completely undid the entire, the wire, everything, the skull, all the things on the staff, I just completely undid, and I just stopped pursuing my experiment to try and go through, I guess you could say, a path through ancestry to try to find information on the Lusitanians. I was just like, nope, gonna leave the ancestors alone on that one, because I don't know who this tied up dude was, and he didn't seem too happy. I mean, looking back, maybe I could have pursued my experiment further, but I tend to go with my feelings on things. I tend to feel that if at any point you're doing a magical experiment and you just feel like something's not right about this, I shouldn't be doing this, maybe heed that. Had I continued on, I don't know what would have happened, but I'm just a big believer on listen to your intuition, listen to your feelings. I believe that those are there for a reason. So if something inside of you is saying, no, 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 abort the mission, hey, I could be wrong, but I'm one that sort of feels that maybe abort the mission. I don't hear too many stories, or I don't hear too much from other witches or magicians or magical practitioners. I don't hear too much about people coming forth and speaking about what to do when you find that, I guess, a magical working or experiment or project, as you are pursuing it, doesn't feel like it should be pursued further. Like, I don't hear too many people talking about this sort of a topic. What to do when what to do when you feel maybe I should abort this, maybe I should stop this, maybe I shouldn't continue this. I don't really hear too much in that respect, but I would like to. So that's why I thought I would come here and share that one story about, that particular time when I was just like, I want to pursue, trying to dredge up ancient information, and then it was just like, okay, this doesn't feel like it's something I should continue doing. I don't know if any of you have ever had something like that in the middle of a work. I will say also, maybe had I at the time planned out my work, my intended work, a little more carefully and methodically as I do at this stage in my life, maybe things would have sort of played out a little differently. I didn't actually do a divination before pursuing that experiment. I didn't do a lot of the things that I tend to do, all that planning in my witch's notebook and weighing and considering that I do these days. I didn't do that at that time before that experiment with the Lusitanian mythology I was seeking. But I wonder if I had done that, what would the outcome have been? Maybe I would have gone about things in a much different way. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's not how it played out. I'm interested in hearing from all of you. Have you ever had a situation where in the middle of working, it was indicated to you that maybe you should stop? Have you ever had that happen? What was that like for you? I would love it if you would either comment below or maybe do a VR. I think this is a great discussion topic because I've not heard anyone talk about this, have you? I certainly haven't. You know, it seems that from what I observe in the community, in the magical community, the pagan community, the witchy community, it seems that people, maybe they plan their spells, or maybe they just, go with their intuition and they just do their spells, their workings, what have you, and they just carry them through, and then what happens, happens. But I've yet to hear of any practitioner stepping forward and saying, part of the way through a given work, I stopped, and here's why. I would like to hear about that. Please do consider the topic that I've put forth in this video. Please do consider responding in some way. I think if we open a dialogue on this, maybe this can serve our community pretty well. Maybe we can learn from one another in some way or ways. With that said, I wish you blessed be an Ashe. Have a wonderful day. Stay awesome. Take care until our next exchange. Bye-bye for now.